Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Crypto Waffle episode 21. Today's topics are global liquidity, RWAs, and AI agents. CryptoSI is with us. He's just gone to get a drink. I can only apologize. So global liquidity, why it could signal the market's next move. RWAs are crypto's next big thing, but what exactly are they and how can you profit from them? And then AI agents make or break time. So let's dive straight in. What do you want to kick it off
Right.
with?
I think you should start because
Yeah.
the thing that is the most important, which is liquidity.
Macro. Yeah.
Yeah,
Let
that's
me
the thing that's the most important.
get the screen sharing. Open that up. Oh no, that's Canva. Right, can you see my report?
Yes, we may have that awkward sound that we get when I am pouring water into mine. Yes, I'll do it on screen so people can see it. Doesn't
look as suspicious.
So it doesn't look as suspicious as it did last time.
Right, so this report basically tells you global liquidity, where it's going, what's going to happen, and how we should be implementing this within our portfolios. So this will just be a brief run through. Obviously, if you can find yourself access to this online, do get your hands on it and stick it through ChatGPT or some sort of other AI to help you best understand it. So you can see at the moment we are in a global liquidity cycle that is currently increasing. Obviously a good thing for us. Global macro cycle is in mid-cycle, which is fine. And then Bitcoin, you can see, is currently in a shorter term, stronger bear market. Now, you might be thinking, hang on a minute, if global liquidity is increasing, why is Bitcoin in a bear market? And that is because global liquidity is a forward-looking indicator. So global liquidity, I think, leads Bitcoin between 6 to 9 months. Is that right? Yeah, I think it is 6 to 9 months off the top of my head. Don't quote me on it. Could be wrong. This chart here basically shows you where global liquidity is. Either in green, it's fine. Yellow, okay, something might be happening. Red, obviously, you can see here, if you look at charts often, that this was actually the bear market of 22. So we saw liquidity kind of peak out between around May 2020 to Jan 21-ish, before we kind of fell off a cliff, went to that bear market, and we saw ultimately liquidity and stock markets and risk assets fall until we've actually come out into the current bull market, which you can see obviously down here. Now, liquidity is no way high, or nowhere near as high as it used to be at the moment, according to this chart. But you can see here, after this short sell-off, we are now picking, or seems to be picking back up, which is a good sign. This is their Bitcoin cycle chart. So green is a buy signal, blue is meh, yellow is something might be happening, and red is get the hell out. Effectively is the way I look at it on this screen. And you can see on that summer low, basically you want to be accumulating in the red and yellow stages here, because this is when people are most bearish, and basically when the best prices are. So you can see in the summer months, the first two pumps effectively of this downwards wedge were dragging people in before sentiment started to get bad, which is why it went to red and yellow. Obviously, this is based off of the Bitcoin thing, not sentiment. But then you had a buy signal just before we come out in early Q4 last year. And then obviously since then, we've seen that sell off effectively again. So a deep dive on liquidity. This is the global liquidity cycles since 1970. And where are we currently on this chart? We are here. We are currently expanding, which is what we want. If this arrow is in the opposite direction, then when we weren't telling you that, don't watch us, because that's when liquidity would have been actually contracting and your bags would be nothing. But this is what we want to see. Arrows going up, liquidity is expanding, and that means our bag should be pumping at some point. Obviously, feel free to come back, watch the replay, and actually read all of that. I'm not going to go through it all now. We're just going to look at the charts. This is a global liquidity index as of March. So you can see as of March, we kind of had this little pump of liquidity over the 19th, 20th, and 21st before selling back off. Obviously, we're now on the 31st today, which obviously this is only up to about the 25th. And that one, when it was on the 25th, it was suggesting liquidity is higher. So I'd suggest if we did have the up-to-date chart, we may be a bit higher than where we are now. The weekly liquidity index is near all-time highs, which is what we want to see. And that is very similar to, in fact, the chart that we look at on here, which is the one I was saying last week. If what we want to see from the liquidity chart is this yellow one on here, is we wanted to see that make new all-time highs, if and when it will load for me. Come on, you know you want to. Well, we'll go over that in a minute, but you get the gist. That yellow one we normally throw up. Oh, here we go.
There you go. Listen.
So this yellow one we normally throw up, we need this to start making basically new all-time highs, which are way above where we've been before, i.e. the peak of the bull market 21-22 and that recent peak we had that peaked out in Q4. We need that to really start pushing higher, obviously, for this liquidity cycle to continue gaining traction. So this is showing here effectively just on a bit of a closer outlook. Again, feel free to pause, have a read. Lots of interesting jargon, effectively. Then this one, I believe, deep dive on macro. We won't go into macro too much because liquidity stuff is what we want to know. There is some other stuff on here on gold and silver as well, which is down. Actually, this one's quite good. Global liquidity with the rate of change. So you can see here, obviously, this global liquidity indicator or this rate of change. Obviously, I don't know the exact metrics for this, but it pretty much is now at the top, the last two cycles. And as you can see, it kind of hasn't triggered yet. So for all the people that are calling the top, I think you are wrong. I am of the opinion that we will continue to go higher. We shall see this top later this year, if not early 26.
Go back up a second and let's look at the last cycle. So 2020, in the middle of 2020, the Bitcoin price has had that horrific drop. Yep. Had that horrific drop. That must have felt like the end of the world, because that's not too dissimilar to where we are now, is it? We've had quite a big drawdown.
Well, I mean, I'm quite fortunate actually that I didn't actually get to experience that firsthand, because I got in March of 2020, so literally just after the COVID drop. So I was buying in that dip, but not realizing we had the dip, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Not having the pain of it.
Yeah.
No, I if I'm honest with you, I don't remember it that much. Probably because we had bigger fish to fry, because we thought the world was going to end. So
yeah, everyone forgets about their investments if the world's ending.
Yeah.
We're not here.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly
quick,
that.
we better buy some more Bitcoin. The world's gone.
Take it with us to heaven. But that does look a bit like what we're going through now, albeit maybe a year later, because that was pre-halving, or that's around the time of the halving, actually.
Yeah, it is. You could definitely compare that to kind of where we are now in this cycle. Obviously, we had a decent drawdown. Sentiment's really bad. There hasn't been any sort of world event at the moment that to cause such a sell-off like this. Obviously, that was literally down 50% in what, a day, I believe, if we actually went to the chart. But yeah, overall, the liquidity outlook is looking reasonably good for us. So going forward, I believe you are best, obviously not financial advice, adding to your bags, having some conviction, and riding it through.
I was talking to a friend of mine. A friend of mine rang me today, and he gave me grief about Donald Trump. He always gives me grief about Donald Trump as if me and Donald Trump are friends. But he rang me and he gave me grief, and he said, "Look, every time this guy opens his mouth, the market's dump. So what's he said now? And I said, well, on Wednesday, we've got the news about the tariffs. So we will know what sort of tariffs he will be dishing out. And it's almost a foregone conclusion that he is going to dish out tariffs of some description. It's just a question of how severe the tariffs are and who the tariffs pertain to. Now, that led me to think that perhaps this is one of those sell the rumor, buy the news situations where the entire, because this drawdown we're having in crypto, it's not a crypto specific drawdown. Like
No,
the TradFi
down today. Yes, I mean, as S&P dropped, what was it, an 1.5% gap down. Nasdaq, I think, gap 2% down.
Yeah.
Currents bounced back up a bit, but yeah.
I think I saw that Tesla's down something like 50% since the start of the year.
Yeah, it is. Tesla's down big. Today it's down 3%, just shy at the minute.
So everything is down and everybody's crying and this, that, and the other. But is it a sell the rumor, buy the news event? Because what we previously had was buy the rumor, sell the news. We have it so often where it's like, oh, this is going to happen, and the price pushes. Then it actually happens, and they're like, okay, well, that's done now, and the price comes back down. Do you think there's a reasonable argument to say that this is the opposite of that? Oh, we've lost you. Can't hear you. Oh, he's absolutely gone now. I think I might have said something to insult the financial navigator, but he has now left. Don't know what I'm going to do whilst he's gone. Maybe I'll start the next segment. Maybe I'll start discussing real world assets if I'm even still live. Let me check and see if I'm still live. Let me just check. Yeah, I think I am. Yes, am I? Yeah, I am. Yeah. Okay, so whilst I'm here and I'm still live, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll do real world assets. So I will explain what real world assets are, and I will give you free real world assets that you can profit from when real world assets become a thing. Okay, so what are real world assets? So the tokenization of everything is, imagine this concept. You have a house. Oh, he's back. Oh, he's back.
Yeah, I can only apologize. I closed the wrong tab.
Oh, you just shut us down.
Yeah.
So
Sorry.
So we couldn't hear you, and then you just hung up. I was just gonna start describing real world assets, but now that you're back, I won't bother. So yeah. So do you think that this is a sell the rumor, buy the news?
Yes and no. Now, depending on how you want to look at it, I personally, and I think we said this last week, if not the week before, was saying this is noise within the broader macro investing world. Obviously, you're having everyone trying to adjust. You've got to remember we just had a new president, and now around new presidents, there's always a lot of uncertainty. We know historically markets hate uncertainty. And Trump coming in saying tariffs one night and next morning they're cancelled doesn't help the uncertainty at all. So this is why we've kind of seen this very volatile chop within markets. So yes, on one side of the coin, I think it is, but on the side of the coin, if you actually just zoom out and look at the bigger picture, kind of like I do, it's all just a load of rubbish in the middle. You just got to learn how to decipher through that rubbish to get to your outlook effectively.
Yeah, I was looking on Do you know, I might share let's see if I can share my screen. One of the, what I like to think is a pretty good predictor, the wisdom of the crowd, as we say, is Polymarket.
Yeah.
So I went to have a look on Polymarket to see what they think the price of Bitcoin will be in 4 days' time. I'll see if I can show
So
you
proper
this.
short term.
Proper short term, but they've, well, not much money been put on it. Under $1 million has been put on it. Let me quickly show you.
How many options?
But I do think
Just two.
it gives you 4.
Okay.
No, I lied. What's that? 7? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
All right. Okay.
I'm not counting out. Yeah, 7.
This
This is closed.
mad. The majority of people, I think, below 80k.
The majority of people are saying below 80k.
Send it higher.
But when I checked this earlier, because often it's not so much the number that matters, it's the direction.
Yeah.
So when I checked this earlier, this was at 32, maybe 31. So people are definitely moving away from this number, although they still are massively in the number. And there's not a big amount of difference between what under 80k and 84 to 86. So
yeah,
this is almost inconclusive, but there is a definite
bearish bias here.
Yeah, definitely a bearish bias here.
Because today, to be fair, we've seen some alts jump. I mean, you've got Ton up 8%. We've got Hyperliquid up 8.5%. Curve DAO is up 6%. Maker DAO is up 5%. Link, I think, is up about 5% as well. So on a day that looked pretty bad to start with the S&P gapping down, it's not looking too bad at the
moment. The fundamentals behind Ton, I guess, is that Matey Boy got released from prison.
Yeah, that's why it's jumped. Now, I personally don't think you're seeing $3 again. So far.
So this was one of our big. We were bullish on this at the start,
still
with the whole narrative behind crypto on mobile, everything on mobile.
Yeah.
It makes sense. Hyperliquid has had a rough week. So
that was June.
A bounce.
I remember all that news. Did you hear the news on the Hyperliquid stuff? Why it tanked?
Well, hadn't they said they were going to remove some listings or something?
Yeah, so they were removing something called Jelly. Now, from what I understand, it was meant to say it was meant to be decentralized or whatever it was, but now it's not. Or Hyperliquid was meant to be decentralized, but obviously because they're now removing Jelly, they're saying, okay, it's not decentralized, it's actually a centralized thing. And people basically just threw their toys out the pram. So you saw Hyperliquid dump whatever it was. Then Per also dumped. So obviously last week I mentioned I had this Per leverage long on. That is still on, currently down 30%, but I've added to it. We'll see what happens. And today we've had a nice little bounce back. But yeah, I think that Hyperliquid dip we had and Per, I think that was a great opportunity to add.
The problem I have with Hyperliquid and the likes is that I don't think they have defensible businesses. Hyperliquid is great. The reason why it became so popular because it had probably the best airdrop of the whole cycle. Away from that, why should anybody use it as opposed to using PancakeSwap or Drift? Or
I mean, I've never used PancakeSwap. The only other one I've used is Jupiter, but obviously that was on my phone. That's mobile. I haven't used Jupiter on my PC. Now, using Hyperliquid is only available on PC. There's no app or anything for it.
Oh, they don't really?
Yeah, so you can't use it on your phone unless you obviously go via some sort of browser, I believe.
Yeah.
So, but then also the funny thing is on Hyperliquid. So it's funny we mentioned that last week, and then I listened to a podcast today with Arthur Hayes in it, Now, supposedly, some wallet trackers have seen that Arthur Hayes has bought $2 million of hyperliquid token. Down where we are now, they mentioned to him on the podcast, and he said no comment, which is a blatant yes, that was me, effectively.
But do you know what the problem I've got with Arthur Hayes is twofold. I think he's a lot smarter than he lets on.
Yes.
He loves to shout and swear and stuff. Now, if he's put on a position where people have found his wallet and he's bought these,
You know that nothing compared to the actual position,
which could be a short for all we know. He could have put on a short and shown, okay, guess what, guys? Done the old like oopsie daisy. I've bought it, so you guys should buy it. Meanwhile, he's whacked on a short, which is the real position, and he just wants more liquidity in there for him to come and extract.
Maybe. I mean, I'm personally bullish with it because you always get these launches. It's even when you see it in stocks, you get these launches. These things will have a little pump. Everyone goes, "Oh my god, it's going to the moon already! Quick, let's go on the rocket ship." Then what happens? Bang, 70%.
Yeah.
And historically, those bang 70% pluses, when you're down there, that's when you want to be buying. And we are currently down there, so I'm of the opinion that the risk to reward here is definitely worth it.
All it has to do, which I always say about crypto projects, all they have to do is stay alive.
Yeah.
All it has to do. If it stays alive, then you're good. You're golden.
Yeah. I think I watched a podcast a while ago as well with a Taki. Is it Taki? He's a massive fart coin thing. He was a massive fart coin ball. Then obviously didn't sell his bags and capitulated.
He also got done by Terra. He was also in Terra, wasn't he? He was big in Terra Luna. So
gone back to his MakerDAO, like DeFi stuff, and it because he was a DeFi farmer beforehand. Yeah, he was talking to a guy about Hyperliquid ages ago, and the guy, I remember him saying, he's going, look, if traders were to build an exchange, it would be Hyperliquid. Like, it's got everything traders want, like actual traders, not your average Joe that's coming in trying to put a 50% low on. It's not built for the masses, it's built for like the players.
Yeah. I think that is true. I think that is true. But it's a question of, can they? I suppose liquidity is king, as well. So if that's where the liquidity is going,
they've got mad liquidity. They've got. I think Arthur Hayes is saying they've got some sort of like nuts liquidity compared to Binance and others as well.
Yeah.
So
So they are one of the big boys as far as liquidity is concerned. The weekly losers, Jupiter is top of the list.
Yeah.
With the daily losers, weekly losers, it's top of that list too. Jupiter had, I don't know what the problem with Jupiter is.
I think it's just general market, if I'm honest. Let's be honest, markets don't need an excuse to go up, they need an excuse to go down. And we've had plenty of excuses for markets to be dumping over the last week or two. So I don't think that there's any real reason behind that. Obviously, there might be a headline or something somewhere for it.
Last thing I just want to check to see if there are any
plays.
Yeah, if there are any tariff. Oh, here we go. Trump imposes 40% tariff on China. No, that's crazy. But
yeah, it's not much. I think the main ones will obviously be around Canada and Mexico. I think just because they're borders, obviously, with US. China will obviously be one as well.
The Canada and Mexico are their biggest trading partners, aren't they? So Taiwan. Interesting. Okay, so there's a big chance he's going to give us tariff. Well, not us, but Europe, which is not anymore actually. And Taiwan.
We're not even on there. We're not even thought about anymore.
No. So these ones are already resolved to yes. So he has done tariffs in China and Mexico.
I mean, to be fair, Brazil is another big one. I don't see many people talking about. They actually do quite a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, they're a massive cut.
Yeah. So this is the reason why the crypto markets are struggling, is because of the
Tariff.
worry about worries about tariffs. And yeah, well, we shall see,
Yeah.
I guess.
RWAs.
Yeah.
What are your top RWA picks at the moment that you're looking at?
Right. I'm going to quickly describe what RWAs are, because they are, when somebody said to me RWAs for the first time, I didn't know what they were, even though I knew what they were. So effectively, if you imagine you have a house, you can tokenize the house. So you have the house and you have 1,000 tokens which represent the house. That's the tokenization of the house. Now you can then go and sell these 1,000 tokens to people, and everybody that buys a token has 1,000th of ownership of that house. You buy 10 tokens, you got 100th, whatever. So that's what's going to happen soon, this tokenization. That's what a lot of these big banks and BlackRock and all these guys, they're all chasing after tokenization of real world assets, land, real estate. But not only that, so there's a project which I'm going to share again, which we speak about quite often, called Ondo.
Yeah.
Now, Ondo are probably the leaders of the real world asset push as it is. So I wanted to, let me see, I want to sign in.
Do you actually own any Ondo?
No,
Nor do I.
no. The reason why I don't own any Ondo is because it's already too big for me to have bought it. It doesn't fit with my risk profile. I prefer higher risk than Ondo.
True degen.
Yes, I am. I'm a true degen. But there was something. Oh no, do you know what? This is not. So this is basically what they have at the moment. They've got there was one here that I thought you might be interested in, actually, or you might be able to explain to me. No, it wasn't an Ondo, it was a different one. So they've got, you can have these US dollars and they yield you 4% per year, but I think there's a minimum that you have to buy. Yeah, so with this one you have to buy a minimum of $500. With the other one, you have to buy a minimum of 5,000.
Do you know if that's
And
locked up
US,
or is that just?
as far as I know, it's not locked up, but you have to do KYC.
Okay.
So let's see.
And for anyone that doesn't know what KYC is, it stands for Know Your Customer. So you need to fill in details about you, where you live, and all that stuff.
Yes, you have to send them your passport or whatever it is. It's usually done by a third party. So anyway, so this is Ondo, and you can come here and you can buy real world assets. You can buy, which are dollars. You can buy real world dollars, tokenized dollars, and tokenized short term US Treasury funds.
Yeah.
So that's a bit out of my branch of expertise, but you'll know about that. So the APY knows is 3.82. They've got this price. What that means, don't know how often that goes up or doesn't go up. I'm assuming that doesn't move much. It happens on Ethereum, but that wasn't the most interesting thing about Ondo. The most interesting thing is, if we can go to let me find out. Let's see if I can find it. I think this is it. Ondo Global Markets. So what they announced about almost 2 months ago now was that they are going to be building this Wall Street meets DeFi. So what they're going to do is they're going to be tokenizing actual stocks and shares. So you'll be able to get a tokenized version of Tesla or a tokenized version of Nvidia or whatever it is that you like. As you can see here. So this is what they said they was going to do. So I was like, okay, this is great. This is brilliant. And then I thought to myself, I've seen this before. I've seen this idea before years ago from a project called Synthetics. Now, if we look at Synthetics quickly, which is supposed to do the same thing. So the idea is behind it is that now I don't have to worry about giving my money to somebody in America to secure my ownership of oh no, hold on. I didn't
No,
when I went into the announcement.
yeah, we're still on the other. Yeah, we only saw the Wall Street.
Right, hang on. Yeah, sorry, hold on, let me.
I mean, if there's one sign to show you that Wall Street's coming in, that header is perfect for it.
Yeah. So yeah, so this was the announcement. Sorry, I'm doing it one tab at a time and then opening new tabs like an idiot. So here's the announcement that they've put out, and they're showing all the things that you can be holding. So this person's holding Nvidia and they're holding Tesla and it's a swap or whatever, blah blah. Now the idea is that you can then go and trade these on the secondary market. So you should have broad access to thousands of real world assets. So you gain exposure to high quality things and this Tesla, Uber. And apparently each one is backed 1-to-1, which means that for every Tesla stock that you can get on Ethereum, there will be a Tesla stock put to the side somewhere else. So should someone decide to cash in their crypto version of Tesla, they will get a real Tesla stock, as real as stock can be.
Yeah.
Right. So the thing that means is that, so say somebody in, I don't know, Iran can now go and buy Tesla stock because it will be openly available on Uniswap. It will just be an asset that is available on Ethereum.
Which opens up a big
Depending on whether, sorry,
which opens up a big currently closed market.
massive market if they release them as ERC20s. Now, for legal reasons, I don't see this ever happening, for obvious legal reasons, because then all these people that are in places that they want to sanction, they won't be able to sanction, and those people can still buy Tesla stock. And more importantly, they can still sell Tesla stock. So if something like this does come to be, let's say America have some enemies, North Korea or whoever, and they buy a bunch of these Tesla stocks and they own a bunch of them, and then they just dump them as and when they feel like it strategically to mess with America. So I don't think they will this will happen, because or if it does happen, it won't be like other crypto that we know, like meme coins, where anyone can buy it and anyone can sell it, because it's just too risky.
I would have thought you still have to do KYC if you're going to have access to this stuff, right?
Well, no, because if it goes onto a secondary market, then it's on the secondary market. So what will probably end up happening is that these Tesla tokens will exist. Then you go onto like Ondo to mint them effectively. Once you've minted them, then you can go onto Uniswap and trade them, and they will probably be traded at a slight premium to the actual Tesla stock, purely because they have freedom of movement that a Tesla stock doesn't have. And people who shouldn't or can't own Tesla stock legitimately will have to pay a little bit extra to buy Tesla stock on the gray market, the crypto market. But yeah, so anyway, so there was this other project called Synthetics, which promised to do the same thing back in 2017. And they never did. So this is Synthetics now. They're still going. I don't think
Is still alive and kicking?
They're still alive and kicking. And I went into their Discord maybe about a year ago, because I was thinking, I randomly had thought, because I think about this from time to time, like I want to convert my Bitcoin into Tesla, or at the time I think I wanted to buy Nvidia. So I was like, I want to buy Nvidia. I wonder if I can buy it via Synthetics. I wonder if they've finished what they promised to do 7 years ago. And they said, no, they couldn't do it. I think they couldn't do it because of, they had problems with liquidity.
Right.
I think that was their problem. They had problems with liquidity. Now, if that was the only problem, arguably it can be done now. The last thing that I did want to say about real world assets, which is another reason why people should be watching out for them. Yeah, so look, here we go. Derivatives, money, perps, tokenized strategies, vaults. basically all that ended up happening that you could do on the platform was stake. So it ended up you couldn't really do any of the things that you were supposed to be able to do.
Yeah.
So you could do perps and all that kind of stuff, but that's not what they set out to do. That's why it's called synthetic. You're supposed to be able to get synthetic Apple stock, synthetic Google, synthetic this, synthetic that, and you couldn't.
Yeah.
So the last thing I wanted to show was, if I go back to my it was Grok that showed me earlier. If I can see my
What's the best AI, by the way, at the minute that you're using?
probably Google.
What, Gemini?
Probably Google Gemini, yeah. Google AI Studio, Google Gemini 2.5. It's probably the best one. This one here, you go to Google Gemini, this one here. This is probably the best AI at the moment. It's got massive context windows, so you can chat and chat and chat and chat and chat and chat and chat, and it never goes crazy. Most AIs go crazy if you talk to them for too long,
Right.
because that they can't hold enough context in their
Their head.
little spongy brains. Yeah. So they lose that. But yeah, so real world assets, BlackRock are all over it. And as we know with ETFs, if BlackRock wants something, BlackRock gets something. So that's the bull case. BlackRock want it. They will have the liquidity to keep the prices somewhat pegged to the actual underlying stocks. I don't think you'll be able to get all of them, because you would have to have massive liquidity on all of them. So I think it'll only be the big stocks that you'll be able to get. So maybe the Magnificent Seven, whatever they call them now, Nvidia, Meta, Alphabet, or what they call Google.
Is it, so going back to obviously why you said you didn't buy any earlier, is that because you missed the train on it, or you didn't think this cycle would be for RWAs?
I've not been thinking about RWAs, and RWAs, I think they are something which is weird in crypto. Sometimes RWAs are something that I want to actually use.
Yeah.
So when it's something that I want to actually use, I'm not really considering speculating on it all the time.
You might like, there's a small project built on Base called Lingo. Now you can, I believe I think I've seen the website before. They have a really cool website.
Lingo, this one.
Yeah, if you show their website. So what you can do, if you click that in the middle there, explore Lingo. Yeah. So you can buy Lingo. Now they are partnered with Nike. They've got massive partnerships. You can actually link your account to Expedia.com as well, I believe. And you can get all of this real world stuff off of your tokens. Now, if you buy the tokens and stake them, you can enter actual real life raffles. Now, within those raffles, you can obviously get prizes and whatnot. But this is one that's on my radar because AIXBT was talking about it quite a while ago. So if you want an update on maybe what's been happening with it, go over to the X of that and just type in the dollar and then the dollar sign, then the ticker, and it should come up all the tweets that it's mentioned about Lingo. It's an interesting project that is on my radar. I have a small position in it, nothing major.
Speak to him. Let's see what he's got to say. How do I find out?
So if you go to his search thing, there in the middle, yeah, you type in the dollar sign and then LINGO, all in caps. It should come up with all the tweets that is then mentioned with that asset in. So it tells you all that other stuff. Obviously, you'd have to double check all this stuff always, research it yourself.
So what have they called it? They're calling it RWA, but why? That's what I don't understand. It didn't strike me as an RWA project. It's not tokenizing things.
I'm not sure what the other idea around it, but the only reason it's on my radar is because he was mentioning it. Now the other one that I have a much bigger position in is called Syrup, previously Maple Finance, and now that is institutional grade loans, and they are one of my top 10 holdings, I believe.
But they are over collateralized though, aren't they?
I believe
So it's kind of, you have to have more money than you can borrow, if that makes sense. If you have to, let me continue. Welcome to Syrup.
they just upgraded their token. It was obviously previously Maple, and now it's the Syrup token, and you can stake on there and whatnot if you want to be part of it. But it's built for the institutional borrower per se. I think they have over 800 mil TVL locked as well at the minute, if I'm not mistaken.
It was 300, I thought. 350 here.
Oh, I thought I saw a podcast the other day about 800.
Unless they've got different 200 there, collateral, 150.
It might be 800 on chain, maybe.
Yeah, see, these sorts of things don't excite me as much, because they're kind of just playing with the value that already exists, which is fine, but they're not unlocking anything
Tangible.
they're not unlocking anything for other people to go and use. Like, if they were tokenizing, like the example I gave where you tokenize property, it means that you can have you can own property without owning the whole thing. So we don't have 30 grand to own the whole thing. So
you can do that in the NFT space, can't you? You can own fractions of an NFT.
And effectively, real world assets are just NFTs. So RWAs are NFTs. They are a type of NFT. They are non-fungible tokens. So real world asset, you can't swap one for another. You can't swap one house for another house. Or let's see.
I believe, because I was buying these guys in the bear market. Now I believe the reason I bought them was due to one of their founders or creators having a deep history with someone at, I want to say, Fidelity/BlackRock.
Okay.
Now that, to me, was all I needed effectively to hand over my well-earned pounds, and it has paid out so far, and I've been adding on this current dip.
Narrative is everything, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I think that with real world assets, I think it's a case of, I think they will have their time. I think they'll have their time when they really go ballistic. I think it could be this cycle.
See, I think it'll be next.
Yeah.
I've said this since the start of last year, that I still think, like, if we go back to last cycle, it was NFTs and layer ones, effectively.
Yeah.
You had Matic and the stuff like that. You had Avalanche popping off.
Yeah.
When you had
Polkadot, Cosmos.
Yeah. So it was them, and then NFC obviously had their thing. This cycle, we've seen AI and memes.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, if we look back to last cycle, NFTs and L1s were the thing for the whole cycle. Obviously, there was little things in there in between. Now, I think the DPIN and RWA stuff, I just don't think the infrastructure's there for that yet fully. I still think they need a bit more time, obviously, for them to build. And obviously, now, like you showed us last week with vibe coding, the builders are going to build through the bear market a hell of a lot quicker than they were before.
Yeah.
So I think next cycle is when we could really see these RWAs and deep in stuff come out. Now, the key is during the bear market of whenever that is, 2026, 27, is to be looking at the current RWA stuff and see if they're still building. Because if they're still building and getting better whilst all the prices are shot, then you know that's where you probably need to be looking.
The thing and the difference between RWAs and layer ones and even NFTs is that with RWAs, they're not building in the traditional sense. They're not building in the sense that they're maybe adding technology. They're not. Yeah, they're adding stuff on and they're just alerting the liquidity, because I think that's the real problem with RWAs at the moment, is that there's just not the liquidity there.
Yeah.
They're just alerting the liquidity. Look, there is something that you can work with here. Try to find a way to bring your liquidity here.
Yeah.
And bit by bit, I think that will happen. So
I think it's just a slow process.
Yeah, I do agree. I think if it was just down to building it, I think we've got more chance of seeing it this cycle.
Yeah.
But I agree. I don't think that it is purely about the building. I think it's about the rest of the onboard.
Still think we need regulation to open up properly as well.
Yeah.
And they've got to remember that's only just come in. So that also plays into why I think it could be next cycle, because by the time we get to next cycle, you've probably just had a load of regs passed.
Well, I would argue the opposite, actually. I would say, because we've got pro crypto government now, the Americans have got pro crypto government now. They are the world police. BlackRock are in charge, let's just say.
Yeah.
When BlackRock said they wanted an ETF, they immediately got an ETF, and that was with the anti-crypto lot. They still got an ETF. So if BlackRock turn around and say, listen, we want real world assets, we want to be able to sell people fractions of our houses.
I think it'll work, but it just takes time to get this stuff through Congress, doesn't it?
But I don't think they have time, do they? I think that's why he's been signing so many executive orders. So this time round, the thesis is that he has to do everything quickly before people can slow it down so much that he can't hit it.
So for the mid elections, isn't it? He needs to get us.
Before the midterms.
Yeah.
So maybe, unless that's another 12 months, which will kind of be towards the end of this cycle, but less than 12 months. Maybe he pushes it through.
Just in time for a 1 year bear market and then rallying all the way into the new presidency, and everyone goes, "Oh my God, Trump, you savior!" Bow. And then then they're back in again, and everyone's happy.
Yeah. My pal that keeps on ringing me to give me grief about Donald Trump, he's suddenly happy with him as well. I think we can speculate both ways.
Yeah.
I think we can speculate both ways, but I think one thing is for sure is that I think RWAs will have.
They'll definitely have their moment. They'll have their time in the spotlight.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right. Should we move on to this? Oh, sorry. Go on. Carry on.
Quickly, AIs.
Yeah.
Before we do our predictions.
What have you got cooking?
Not
good or bad news?
Mostly bad.
Oh.
So Cookie DAO is the place where you go when you want to see what's happening in the AI agent world. I think I might have shown us this website before. I'm just signing in using my MetaMask, which is not showing, which is good for my privacy. So yeah, market cap is down, smart engagements is down. The big chains are losing their dominance. I guess that's a good thing. I think that's only because BNB are now coming out to play, because they have been surprisingly slow releasing anything AI related or really jumping on the AI bandwagon. So yeah, at the moment it does look like, I would say,
AI 16Z that buy box finally.
Yeah.
Well,
Yep. So AI 16Z is down. I think it touched 16, just under 16.
It's currently at 16.37. Went to a low of 15.92. So just.
I've done that thing again whereby I click and it goes into a different page. I'm looking at something and no one else is seeing it. I've done it again. Right. So, yeah. So this is cookie.fun. This is really good. This is a good resource to find out what AI agents are doing well, which ones are growing, and it shows their levels of engagement. So how many people, they call it mind share, how many people are looking at it. At the moment, Fartcoin has got massive amounts of mind share.
Rising.
I think that's more of a, yeah, Fartcoin is doing great at the minute.
I think Taki's going to be a bit annoyed towards the end of this cycle when Fartcoin's back up at the highs.
Do you think Fartcoin comes back?
Yeah, it's like SPX. It's like SPX. I think it's made a name for itself now. They were the only two who got mentioned on CNBC that had that massive mind share that we saw within the crypto space anyway. And we know what crypto OGs are going to do once they pulled out some bigger assets again. They're going to come back to the stuff that they knew best.
It matters. And the fact that their mind share of Fartcoin is almost double the mind share of the next.
I mean, I've never even heard of, is that Bankerbot? Yeah, I've never heard of that. The only ones
I think Bankerbot, let's see, AI assisted crypto wallet on X.
Right, okay. Yeah, I think Filecoin and SPX will be, I think they've actually got a name for themselves. I think one of the others that might have is Giga, Chad. I haven't seen anything or heard of that in a while, but it's got kind of...
Giga's just a straight meme though, is there? It's not
got a very like following to it.
Yeah.
So I think they could be ones that stick around.
I saw a really good tweet. Who was it, Paul? I can't remember who it was. So a really good tweet where a guy, he kind of broke down what's happening in AI and AI agents. And he was saying that you can't deny AI agents' usefulness. So it's just a question of how do we monetize and wrap that value into useful agents and useful tokens. Once we figure it out, we get a renaissance. But we haven't figured it out yet.
No, we haven't. Yeah. And we're still waiting.
Yeah, is the issue. So yeah, so I don't know what this Bankerbot is, but it looks like it's well, yeah, I don't know.
Right, should we move on to our trades and guesstimates?
Oh yeah, we've got this horrible, what a horrible week.
So let me get over to there and we go again. So it's share. I shall share my page, my screen.
Yeah.
Now you should be able to see charts.
I can't see. You're not sharing that.
No sharing.
Yeah, you are now.
Perfect. Right, so we both back went bullish last week. Now we did say last week, and I remember because I saw our own clip from last episode of Crypto Waffle. I said there was a day in which the world could come up to 90k and we get hammered back down. And what have we done? We've come back up to around 87. Call it 89. Okay, at the moment we've come back down. The key for this week, I believe, is out the old lows. So if we don't make new lows below 76, I think the bottom is probably in, and I think we start chopping away back at new highs. But we were both incorrect on that by a mile. We went a tad too bullish.
I don't think we're incorrect. I think we're just early.
Yeah, I think we are early.
I don't think we're incorrect. We're just early.
So for this week, should we do them as we go this week?
Okay. Yeah.
I'm going to stay bullish on Bitcoin. I'm going to have my old target of 92 for next week. So I reckon we could have another big week of a 10K candle week. Sitting.
You're going 92.
Yeah.
I'm going to follow Polymarket and go bearish this week. And I'm going to say 78.
78?
78. Yeah.
Christ. Thought you were the permaball.
No. I think we need to see. I think we have a really bad day tomorrow. And then I think Trump says the tariffs, and I think we have another bad day. And then Thursday, I think off we go.
Yeah. Fair enough. Well, we're both polar opposites this week.
Yeah.
So
But I reckon there's a good chance we both hit. There's a good chance we go down 78 and then end of the week we rip.
yeah, definitely. What was our target for Sui? We had the same target, didn't we?
Yeah, we both said 3.
Well, we went to $2.83.
We were looking so good on like Thursday or Friday. We were looking so good. We were looking so
I can't even remember what we had our trades on in a minute. We'll have to have a look in a minute.
One was on SUI and one was on AI16Z. And on Thursday or Friday, so we're gonna have to change the way we do it, because to just sit in it for an entire week is not fair. Because on Thursday or Friday,
what this tells us is we had the right direction, but we were too bullish, so we should have had our stop take profits lower.
yes, or if we know, because Thursday or Friday we knew the market had moved against us. So once you knew the market moved against you, you would have just closed it. Even if we had our take profits at $3 where we had them, we would have just closed out. I wouldn't have sat in it all the way back down. I wouldn't have round tripped it. No way.
I mean, because
no way. And we was well up
current
on Friday. Well up.
I'm assuming the SUI trade as of now is probably about break even.
No, I think you're down.
Or down.
We should both be down. I think I've been tapped out. Okay, no, you're still in. Yeah, you're still in. You're down 20%. I've been tapped out. So I've hit my stop loss.
What were you on, AI16Z?
16 cents was my stop loss.
Oh, okay. So on new lows. And we did create new lows, to be fair. Yeah, I think that stop loss was sent. Great spot to get out. So,
yeah.
But yeah, no, Sui, unfortunately, we were tagged near 17 cents. Our targets, which was close.
So close. Yeah, so close.
So close, but yet so far. So both
I think it's unfair.
Do you want to do Sui again this week?
We never do it twice in a row.
I'll do Sui.
Yeah, let's do it again.
Oh, we're lagging.
Come on, we'll do Sui again.
Right, where do you think we're going this week? I'm gonna have to remain bullish, and I'm gonna say $2.80. I'm saying we come back. I want to be where we've already been. Sui has been just one of those ones that's just not letting it.
You're lagging.
Can you hear me now?
Are you there? Yes, I can. I want to be bullish on Sui, especially after, look at that massive drawdown that we've had over the last few days can't possibly still be bearish. Bitcoin loses its dominance. Can I be bearish on Bitcoin and bullish on everything else? Start of the S season.
Yeah, I suppose you can. There's no reason to say no.
Go on then.
Yeah, well, so are you going 280? Are you going with me?
Yeah.
It's,
Is that what you're going to say as well?
yeah, 280. I can't do that. I'll do that after. AIS 16Z. So unfortunately, you were tapped out. Do we want to stick with it? Or are we going to go with something new?
Let's stick with this one. We'll stick with the ones that we put our bets on.
I mean, that is a beautiful falling wedge in.
That's going to shoot up, isn't it?
Well, it's a bullish pattern. It's a bullish pattern. If we break this upper trend line, then the show should be back on the road.
Okay, I'm going to say 25.
25.
I'll say 25 cents. Yeah. Is that too small a move?
No, I think. Oh no.
It's unfortunate.
What's going on?
Should we do,
Right, I'm gonna have to.
shall we do our last two on
Stop the
hyperliquid?
screen sharing. Yeah, I will have to cancel my screen share and you go straight onto the hyperliquid because keep having connection issues.
Right. I've said that I'm going to share, so you should have been booted out. There you go. You've been booted out. We're now sharing. Oh, that's perfect. Oh, we done per last week, so we won't do per again. Actually,
I like per.
what do you want to do? We're going to pick two from. Do you want to do per again?
I'm not gonna lie. I would like to. Oh, you talking about the trade here or just in general?
Just in general. He's gone. He's gone. Once again, it's just me. All on my own. Mr. Lonely. He'll be back though. So we are both very bullish on per. It's had quite a good bounce today, but so is hyperliquid. Hyperliquid could become a thing. It's given me Solana vibes, actually. Hyperliquid is, where it started off, and people are very much pointing out its flaws, but not pointing out the fact that everybody is actually using it. I just had a thought while she was away with the rest of our live viewers that Hyperliquid is reminding me a lot of Solana when it first started.
Right. Okay.
In that everybody is pointing out the negatives of it, and no one's really pointing out the fact that this thing works and a lot of people are using it.
Yeah, and big whales as well. All the big whales seem to be on hyperliquid.
It's gonna have more volume than a lot of other. It doesn't really have any peers for dexes because there aren't any other L1 dexes.
Yeah.
I guess there's Unichain now, but I can't see Unichain keeping up with Hyperliquid. So yeah, I was just explaining that's probably why we're quite bullish on it. So yeah, so we're gonna do per.
Yeah, I'll keep per again this week. It's for, unless you want to change it for hype, we can use the hype token
Didn't we do hype last time? All right, let's do hype.
instead of per. So is this for predictions, yeah?
Yes, this is for predictions.
I am gonna say maybe that's what I'm doing wrong when I'm looking at this stuff. I'm looking on the daily. I need to be looking on a 4-hour if I'm predicting next week.
A week is a lottery.
Is
Is the truth.
it
A week
is
is a
a
lottery. This is a penalty shootout with 2 goalkeepers in goal.
Where do I want to go? I reckon 1750s on the cards again.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going 1750 for hype.
Yeah. I'm gonna go 20.
Yes, love that.
Do you know what? I don't even know why I picked 78 for Bitcoin. I don't know who I was trying to kid.
The Ultra Ball is back.
Oh, mate, this is just what I do. I have to be bullish. I can't do this bearish. I can't. But yeah, so hype is lower than it's been for a long time.
But we're back in that where it started, and that's what we want to see. Because we've had that come, everyone got all excited, it dumped, and then we just chopped, made everyone bored, sold 50% lower. Everyone's now crying, saying it's rubbish. we know what happens next.
Yeah. 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 All right, last one.
What would you like to do?
Let's see what's available. Oh, Fartcoin.
Yes, let's do that. Great shout. Oh, do you know what I'm seeing there? I'm seeing a cup and a handle forming, or head and shoulders.
But this is over a very long period because this is from the start.
I'm looking on your screen. It looks like just near Feb, you might have a left shoulder, and then if you are potentially, yes, no, so go down, just right a little bit more towards the end of Feb.
Oh, should I zoom in?
Yeah, there you go. So that end of February, around, is that the 10th? Is that? Yeah, there. So that would be your left shoulder. If you draw a straight line from around that, 63 cents all the way across to the right, that will give you your left shoulder.
From there,
yeah, go to the right hand side, and then join that up where the current peak just was, around the 67. Is that? Yeah,
there.
perfect. So go all the way, go a bit further along, because you've got to get the right shoulder in. Yeah, there.
So,
and then if you extend that left hand side of the line as well. Yeah, stop there. So there you can see that little left shoulder. Yes, and then at the bottom you've got a nice big round head. Yeah, this bit there where you are. Yeah. And then we look like we might be forming the right shoulder where we are now. Yeah, we haven't quite come back up, because we need that right shoulder to come back up to what is the neckline. Once that's up though, your head and shoulders is there. Now if you wanted to measure, yeah, go from the top to around the bottom. Yeah, and then take it out and just drag that to where you might break out, just as a guesstimate. And that will give you your estimated price. So it looks like about $1.20 or back up.
Yeah. $1.20. So that's what you reckon?
58 cents.
All right. You sounded well loud there. So you said what, 58?
Yeah, 58 next week. Oh, that head and shoulders is beautiful, by the way. Oh my god. How has no one pointed this out on Twitter yet?
Maybe because it's on the longer scale than people look at.
Oh, I'm posting this. And on today's candle, you've got an inverted hammer. Do you know we discussed them last week?
Yes, we did.
Sorry, not inverted hammer. We've got a hammer candle forming. So if that closes, that means we can have a bullish rebound.
Okay, I'm with you. What did you say? 58?
Yeah, 58.
Where are we at now? 44? I'm going to say 60.
Yeah, lovely. And then
Yeah, we've got to put so we put Fartcoin in there with SPX, do we?
yeah, we can.
Those mean that don't die.
Yeah, I reckon that's in there with SPX. If I'm honest, I actually think Fartcoin probably stays around longer than SPX
Really?
from what I've seen of it.
Here's what one of the old guard in Popcat.
Yeah, Popcat I think might hang around as well. That might become an OG.
Doesn't look likely. Looks right.
It's not looking too good at the minute.
Not looking too good. It's not looking too good for the cat. Hasn't been done.
Which one are you going to do your trade on? Because if I'm honest, I'm happy to hold my Sui again.
Oh, you want to do Sui? Oh, you want to just stay in the Sui trade?
I would like to stay in my Sui.
Okay.
And assuming we come back up to where I think we were going, but obviously our new TP would have to be, our new take profit would have to be 280. And I'll keep, what stop loss have I got on there at the minute?
250, I think.
Well, okay, yeah, I'll keep the 250.
So your stop loss is 218? Sorry, not 250. We started at 250. 218 is your stop loss. We're not far off.
Oh, do you know what? We went to a low on my chart. We went to 218.15.
Yeah,
Just arrived.
Literally skinning your teeth.
It should though, because this daily candle will close it like a hammer again. That could be in my favour here. With a bit of luck, we get a nice rebound.
You are living dangerously, sir. Very dangerously.
We are right on the edge.
So you want to stay in Sui?
Yeah, I'm happy to stay in Sui this week.
Sure, maybe this week. All right, what am I gonna do then? I'm gonna put on my Bitcoin short.
Yeah,
See if I touch 78. Yeah,
I think that's good risk management of our current or remaining dollars.
yeah. So if we go up, we win. If we go down, we win. It's a good hedge. If we go down to 78, you definitely get tapped out, though. You know.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, by the looks of it, I should have been tapped out already, but we've survived. So we.
Oh, I know. You know, I don't want to go 78 then. We need a hero week. So I'm not gonna go. I'm gonna go bullish. I'm gonna go Fartcoin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go bullish and I'm gonna go Fartcoin.
50x long.
I don't think you can do 50x on Fartcoin. No, it's max free.
Oh mate, I might have to put a leverage long on Filecoin. It actually just looks unreal.
There's your
Prop and handle, yeah. If you take your cursor to the right hand side where your numbers are, then just scroll up, and it just makes the chart a bit yeah. And then scroll now, you'll get a better view of the chart. So now you might have to drag the screen. Yeah, there you go. You can see that a bit better now. Nice big round head at the bottom, left shoulder's formed, waiting for that right shoulder.
I don't know how you saw that when we looked at it first. That looked like a flat line to me.
No, I saw that in there. Now, what you can do is you front run the formation of that right shoulder by getting in at the lower boundary of it, which is where we are now. So if we are to form that right shoulder, you're in the money, and if we then break, bang, voila.
No.
Now, obviously, but where we are now, you have tight stops, because if that right shoulder collapses, it probably goes back down to prior lows. But yeah, I think I personally, not financial advice, maybe looking to implement a Fartcoin long once this ends.
I'm going to do a Fartcoin long now. This is going to be my play.
Double bubble.
Yeah, that's going to be my play for the week. Right, we'll do 3x. I guess I'll do 25%, all right? Because you're not in it today.
Well, I'm technically my position's still on, isn't it? So I think you could still use what's in there.
I'll just do. Sure, okay, shall I just do 100% then?
Yeah, YOLO.
YOLO, baby.
Imagine Fartcoin is the savior.
It's
written in the style, to be honest, isn't it? Let's look at that.
It's written, yeah. Right, so my take profit will be, what did I say? 60. No, I'm not doing my take profit that high, because otherwise we're going to go up and...
I was going to say it should be about 55.
And my stop loss is where the other thing is, right?
I would have said probably about 32. It's a wide-ish margin, but you want to be out if it comes. I mean, to be fair, it could still come lower and form a bigger right shoulder, but that daily candle today, if it closes kind of like it is now, is kind of a good sign for tomorrow.
Oh, my stop loss to be higher than that.
Yeah, it gets out quick.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. I think it's doing that thing again.
And we're on.
Okay. I'm in.
Beautiful.
Okay, right. So pray for Sui, pray for Fartcoin.
Yeah.
And our hero week, first week of April.
Hot air rises. This is.
Yeah.
I'm the Fartcoin.
Up the Fartcoin.
Oh, it's brilliant, isn't it? What a world we live in.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, let's hope that Fartcoin saves our $100,000.
Stays the chat. I thought we'll have to reload. We haven't got a limit on how many times we can reload, have we?
No.
Yeah, we'll keep reloading. It's all fam games.
We'll have to reload. We will.
The Fartcoin will save us.
The markets will turn in our favor. I think. So, if my old thesis was wrong and everybody has already done the selling that they're going to do ahead of Trump's announcements in 2 days' time, and then he makes his announcements and it's a sell the rumor, buy the news, everything rallies, Sui hits $3, Fartcoin hits 55.
Yeah, that's the downside of this week, isn't it? We're trading over tariff news. Well, to be fair, the downside of all of this, we've been trading over Trump's headline flip-flopping.
Yeah.
effectively.
Yeah.
But what do you do?
Effectively,
Can't complain.
Trump has ruined the bull market.
No, he's just prolonging it. They literally come out and said, haven't they, short-term pain for long-term gain.
Yeah, that's what they're saying.
So,
But I don't know why they're bothering. Just print more money and have done with it.
they're going to do it.
$1 million Bitcoin.
Jay Powell's currently sitting in his house just finalising the banknote review for the new printer press.
Yeah. Yep. He knows what he's got to do. I wonder what the odds are, whilst we're here, of them actually doing what's the next one? May. Okay. What are the chances? I think it's got to be no change. Yeah.
No, I think he might cut, you know.
I think that this no change at 83 is I think that's wild.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I'm of the opinion we see more than 2 cuts this year anyway. And if he's going to have more than 2 cuts, he probably needs to start in May.
Yep, he does. And he is playing this game of chicken with Trump, whereby he doesn't want to do nothing until Trump does something.
Although, to be fair, his last Fed speech was very different to his first, because they've now basically ended QT, haven't they?
Right.
They've only got a 5 billion.
I didn't actually hear that.
So prior to the last one, prior to him coming out, they were currently doing about 25 billion in balance sheet runoff for treasuries. They've now ended that to 5, so dropped it 80%. Effectively, it's nothing in the world of the Fed. What is 5 billion amongst friends, sort of thing? Nothing. So they've now effectively ended QT. Now that is obviously the first step on the road to QE. Now, they probably pause, they wait till May, they're going to see what the new data comes out with, and then Powell will go, oh shit, we should have cut sooner. Then they cut. Now, I'm of the opinion, obviously, I'm completely against contrarian here that they actually cut, because 83% of people are saying no change.
I genuinely think this is too much. What often happens on Polymarket is that when something is in the lead, people pile money into it. So this might have been 70. Someone's come along, seen it's at 70 and thought, oh, that's going to win. Yeah. So then they piled money into it and now it's at 83. And someone sees it and says, oh, well, that's going to win. And they pile money.
Maybe a week or two, or one of the weeks or two during the month, we should do a Polymarket thing instead of the Hyperliquid.
Okay. Yeah.
I think that'd be quite cool.
We'll have a Polymarket account as well.
Yeah, I think that'd be a good idea.
Polymarket is now on Solana, I believe.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I believe Polymarket has expanded to Solana. So I believe you can fund Polymarket with Solana tokens.
Wow.
I think that was the big news last week.
Okay.
Looking forward, excuse me, they are saying there's more than half a chance that they drop 25 basis points in June.
Okay.
And then July, I bet it's even higher. Oh, July, they're saying no change.
Yeah, see, everyone's against the standard consensus, aren't they? That he's only going to do 1 or 2 cuts this year.
Yeah. Polymarket are saying first one's in June.
Yeah.
Polymarket are saying first one's not in May. They're saying first one's in June.
Yeah.
Yeah. We shall see.
Right, until next time, everyone, thank you very much for watching. And we shall see you next week. Adios.